The Apple iPhone 12 is coming with some impressive specs and design, and I'm going to be sharing the details right after this. If you're new here and want to stay up to date with the latest tech, please hit subscribe followed by the bell. So it's another week and we've got plenty more news for you regarding the upcoming Apple iPhone 12. We've got details of iOS 14, more information on the iPhone 12's design, and plenty more renders showing us exactly what the phone is going to look like. Before we get into the video, please like the video if you're excited for the iPhone 12 and let me know in the comments which model you're waiting for. If you're waiting for another phone altogether, then let me know as well. But it's already been a busy week for Apple fans given that they just launched the SE yesterday. It was also great to see that 98% of the leaks we had were correct. Most interestingly though, Apple showed us that they can deliver some great value when they launch a new phone for just $400. Unfortunately, they also showed us how they can overprice products when they released the Apple Mac Pro wheel kit at an astonishing $700. Not only is that more than the latest iPhone, but it also costs more than a set of wheels for some cars. But anyway, back to the iPhone 12, one of the most talked about features this week has been a tweet from Fudge that supposedly confirms a smaller notch on the iPhone 12 along with widgets in iOS 14. While widgets are a much wanted feature and something that Android has had for a long time, it unfortunately doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Fudge is not a usual source of information, and it seems that these may actually just be photoshops, as many credible sources out there have said that they've got no information on this at all. That's not to say it's not going to happen, but it does look very unlikely. We've also got news delivered from Mac Rumors that says some models of the iPhone 12 won't be delayed, but some will. The report states that according to analyst Jeff Poo, the 5.4-inch and the 6.1-inch iPhone 12 are going to be available in September, but the 6.7-inch is going to be available in October. Now for a start, it does appear that these blogs refuse to credit John Prosser, so when they say Jeff Poo, they actually mean John Prosser. I'm not sure if they intentionally picked the same initials here, but it seems a bit childish for a tech blog to refuse to credit their source. But given the improving situation in China, I think if it's only a couple of weeks delay at their current stages, then they may be able to pull it back and deliver all models of the iPhone 12 on time. We've got further confirmations from Mac Rumors that the iPhone 12 is going to be rocking a smaller notch than its predecessor, and it's most likely going to have a flat edge design that we've seen so often in the renders. Now these reports have been fueled by Ming-Chi Kuo's initial announcement, who is a very credible source when it comes to Apple, and we've seen a flat edge design on the 2020 iPad Pro, so it does seem very likely. Although the notch is going to be reduced, it will still be there as it's required to include the 3D camera for Face Unlock, but it's expected that the reduced notch on the iPhone 12 is going to be 33% smaller than its predecessor. We've also had confirmation from the SE launch that the iPhone 12 is of course going to use haptic touch instead of 3D touch. 3D touch was last seen in the iPhone 8, and given that it didn't appear in the SE, it means Apple have definitely discontinued this to focus on their haptic touch, but given it was also in the iPhone 11s, then this was always expected. Now there have been plenty of rumours about higher display resolutions and insane camera specifications, but as they stand, they're simply just rumours. There hasn't been any evidence given to back it up, so I'm not going to be speculating here. One thing we can expect though, judging by the rest of the smartphone industry, is of course an increased refresh rate. Going by the current competition, I would expect to see at least a 90Hz display on the iPhone 12, but if we're lucky it could even be 120. So many concept renders are appearing daily for all four versions of the iPhone 12, and I think as the information is coming in, they are becoming a lot more accurate and really beginning to depict what we'll have released in September. But for those of you who are after a new phone, it may well be worth holding out for the iPhone 12. If you want a budget device, then the SE is a great option, but if you're after the latest and greatest flagship, then the iPhone 12 is what you need. If you've missed my previous videos, we're going to quickly run through all of the specs for all four versions of the iPhone 12 now. One thing we haven't had leaked yet is the name. Although we're very unlikely to see any radical change, we're going to assume for this video that it's called the Apple iPhone 12. There are many rumours claiming that it's going to be the iPhone 5G, but we believe it to be the iPhone 12. We're expecting to get 4 new iPhone 12s in the range, which will be 2 different Apple iPhone 12s, the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We're expecting Apple to increase the display size on most models, although those who want the smaller displays are still going to get an option. Reliable analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has advised that there's going to be 2 iPhone 12 versions. The smaller iPhone 12 is going to have a 5.4-inch display and the larger one will have a 6.1-inch. We then get a 6.1-inch display, which is the iPhone 12 Pro, and a 6.7-inch display, which is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Unlike last year, however, all models are reportedly going to be using an OLED display, and the resolution will differ across the range. The 6.1-inch iPhone 12 will likely have a lower resolution than the 6.1-inch iPhone 12 Pro. And while there are rumours of Apple removing the notch, I really can't see this happening. In typical Apple fashion, we're still expecting a full-screen display with a notch top centre. It's too early for in-display camera sensors, and I can't see Apple going for a punch hole. They also need a time-of-flight sensor on the front for their 3D face unlock. And while Apple did ditch the fingerprint scanner on the iPhone X, there are reports that it's going to be coming back in the form of an in-display fingerprint scanner. There are reports suggesting that Apple are also going to be increasing their refresh rates on the latest displays. While most phones have stuck to 60Hz displays, it's been changing recently and Apple are also going to be joining this trend. At this stage, we don't know if they're going to be using 90Hz, 120Hz, or even a mixture of the two across the range. When it comes to the rear of the device, we're expecting a similar camera setup to last year, but the more premium model will have more cameras. Ming-Chi Kuo has again advised that both the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max are going to be adding time-of-flight cameras to the rear. For those unaware, time-of-flight cameras are 3D depth cameras and they're what Apple uses on the front for the 3D face unlock. The time-of-flight sensors on the rear, however, use slightly different technology that allow it to map 3D objects from further away. This significantly improves augmented reality applications and allows for more improved portrait-style photo and video effects. We're likely going to see slight upgrades on the other cameras of the iPhone 12s, but given the great performance in its predecessor, they won't be changing things too much. Reports are suggesting that the 2 more budget models are going to have a dual camera setup, while the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max are going to have a quad camera setup with the inclusion of the 3D depth camera. The iPhone 12 is of course going to be powered by the new A14 Bionic processor. This is actually manufactured using 5nm lithography, which will bring significant improvements, and there's a good chance that it will be the first 5nm chipset to hit the market. When it comes to RAM, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is expected to come with 6GB of RAM, while the standard iPhone 12 will only have 4. This is something that I think Apple actually do well compared to Android manufacturers, where they throw in unnecessarily large amount of memories, causing the consumer to pay for memory that they don't even need. When it comes to storage, we're expecting a choice of 64, 256 or 512GB of internal storage. For the first time ever, consumers felt Apple did a great job in prioritizing the battery life on the predecessor, so hopefully that's something that's going to continue with the iPhone 12. While graphene batteries are still out of the question, we can expect a 5.4-inch iPhone 12 to be around 2,800 mAh. The 6.1-inch is probably going to be around 3,150, and the 6.7-inch should contain around a 4,300 mAh battery. One thing that is a little unknown at the moment is of course 5G connectivity. Apple are very bad when it comes to 5G thanks to earlier issues with Qualcomm, so we're unsure at this stage if that's something we will see in the iPhone 12. It's rumoured that the iPhone 12 is going to have 5G connectivity, but there aren't actually any leaks or reports to back that up. The iPhone 12 is going to be IP68 water resistant, and it's of course going to ship with iOS 14. Now when it comes to pricing, we of course want lower prices on the Apple iPhone 12, but it does seem unlikely. We did however have this with the predecessor when the base iPhone was actually cheaper than the XR, so it's not impossible. Unfortunately, material prices have increased this year, so I expect the smallest 5.4-inch iPhone to launch at around $750 or £800. The 6.1-inch iPhone 12 to be around $900 or £950. The 6.1-inch iPhone 12 Pro to be $1,050 or £1,100, and finally the 6.7-inch iPhone 12 Pro to be about $1,200 or £1,250. Of course, it's not all about specs, and we're likely going to see some new software features or improvements to the current features in iOS 14. The iPhone 12 is set to launch in September as always, and it's always around the second week they release, so we can expect to see the iPhone 12 range on either the 8th or the 15th of September, and the iPhone 12 will be released about 10 days afterwards. Of course, being so far away, these are leaks and rumours, but as more information comes to light, I'll be sharing with you guys straight away. As always though, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments. Who out there is waiting for the iPhone 12, which model are you waiting for, and does the notch remaining bother you? But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one.